Wallace of Wallace Vision Studios, and I'm going to be one of the homes and studios you'll be visiting on the studio tour this year. I really can't make up my mind what I like to do. I love painting. This is one of my paintings. I love printmaking, primarily abstract, but sometimes a little less than abstract. I also love pottery. I'm a potter, and that's how I started out about 9 years ago when I started doing art again in my life. Used to be in banking management. This is way more fun. This is my 3rd year as part of the studio tour, and I really love being part of this group. It's really helped me to find out more about the art community, and it's nice to be part of a group that really wants to educate the public about what we artists do. It's an opportunity to invite people into our studios and let them see how we make these things. Often you only see the end result at a gallery or a shop, but this way you get to see some of the process of how things are done. The people in the tour, the other artists on the tour, are also very, very committed to the community and to their art, and that makes it a really fun group to be a part of. When people ask me what's unique about my work, I think I would say movement. The things that inspire me are where we live, Colorado Springs, one of the most beautiful places on earth, in my opinion. The landscape and the trees, the flowers, the mountains, the rocks, all of that becomes part of my work, even though I tend to abstract things out. Inspiration comes from many, many sources here, but movement is a big part of my art, and you'll see that when you come by and see what I do. Another thing I do that's very unique is I combine some of my media. I do pottery, I do printmaking, and I do these fun little books made out of prints, some of my prints. I rip them up, I sew them into little books with ceramic covers. I then burn the edges and tie beads on them, and they make really, really fun end results and very, very unique items.
Hello, I'm Kalos, and welcome to my studio. It'll be number 4 on the studio tour.
Hi Laszlo, what medium are you working in there?
Well, I like to work in metal, as you can see here by this bird. And I've been a metal sculptor now for probably about 15 years, and I've been with the studio tour for 2.
What inspires your work?
Well, basically, it's a lot of fun. It starts from the art portion of me, and the fun begins when I go to the scrapyard. I'll go to the metal scrapyard and I'll find, for example, this piece, which would have been on maybe a trenching tool. All the metal pieces you see here had specific purpose in a past life. And I'll see this, and for example with this, I said, well, that has to be a bird's beak. And then I'll start putting together pieces from my own collection, or I'll go find more pieces, and then I'll fabricate what, for example, this needed to be, and that is a bird.
What do you think is unique about your work?
Well, I bring with it, I have many, many years of fine art background, and I have studied the masters of sculpting and painting, etc. I've done a lot of figure drawing and painting. I'm a portrait painter, and so I think I have a sensitivity to shape and form that I think helps me as I'm welding and putting these pieces together.
You said you've been with the studio tour how long?
2 years.
And what do you like about being a part of it?
Well, definitely the camaraderie and the fact that in numbers we get fantastic things accomplished. With many, many projects that come forth in marketing ourselves, setting up the studio tour, the publicity, and just helping each other out as artists. It's a great group of people, and we accomplish great things.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I'm Mike Baum. This is my studio. It's studio number 10 on the tour, and welcome to the studio.
Michael, what medium do you work in?
Obviously I work in oil paint. Here it is, right here.
And what kind of work do you do?
I do landscapes, realism. You can see a lot of them around the studio here.
What would you say inspires your work?
Well, just walking out the front door inspires my work pretty much. You know, it's just a beautiful world out there, and I get inspired every time I go out. I was out for a walk this morning, you know, and I'm seeing new stuff to paint all the time. So.
That's great. How long have you been painting?
A long time. I think I've been full-time since 1993, and I was painting before that, so it's been quite a long time. This morning I've only been painting about half an hour.
How many years have you been participating in the studio tour?
I've been in since the beginning, so this will be year number 7 coming up. Actually before the beginning. So.
And what do you like about the tour?
I like the people that come in. Painting's very solitary work. I'm down here all alone most of the day, and it's just nice to get people down here and see what I'm doing and share with them what I'm doing and let them get a look at how it's set up. And it's just fun to talk about the work with people. It doesn't happen all that often, so it's a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Deb Comet. Welcome to the studio tour. This is my studio. I work in oil paintings. I do oils on clay, and I also have some colored pencil drawings that will be available during the studio tour.
How long have you been making these kinds of art forms?
I've always done art since I was a little kid. I figure it was my way of competing with a family of 3 older brothers and keeping ahead of things.
What do you think's unique about your work?
I think my work comes from a place within me, and that makes it my own voice. I tend to do work that expresses my joy and happiness of where I am in my life right now. I try to paint with an open heart and an open spirit and express that through bright colors and lightly brush strokes.
What inspires you?
What inspires me? That's a good question. I love nature, landscapes. I like to look up the meanings of different animals when they come across in my life and kind of represent the meaning of the animal instead of the animal itself, what it brings in its spirit world or its spirituality.
Deb, how many years have you been participating in the studio tour?
I actually started it with a friend 7 years ago, and I had talked it over with a lot of people in the city, and everyone thought it was a good idea, but nobody would start it. So I waited for a long time for it to be started and realized it wasn't going to go unless I just did it. So I got people on board that were good with organization skills, and it was an artist-to-artist invitational. So we just invited other artist friends. It was mainly people that only worked in their home studio and wanted the exposure and wanted to bring the public into their studios. So it really grew, and it's grown to what it is today, which is just amazing people inviting people into their homes, and it works out really wonderfully for the public to be able to see the artist in their home and see the artist's work in a different setting.
Hi, I'm Reese, and I paint pop art dogs.
What medium do you work in, Carol?
I work in acrylic and then anything else I can get my hands on.
How long have you been doing these kinds of paintings?
I've been doing this since about 2006.
What inspires you to do these paintings?
I'm a huge animal lover, and I just get a lot of joy out of this.
What do you think is unique about your work?
They're a little bright.
How many years have you been participating in the studio tour?
This is my 2nd year with Studio Tour.
And what do you like about it?
I like hanging out with the artists and meeting new artists every year and then putting it all together. It's a lot of fun.